So have you ever thought about owning a humanoid robot, such as the one you have seen in Big Hero 6, such as the one you have seen in Wall-E? Okay, maybe not in Wall-E, but the thing is that owning a humanoid robot is actually becoming a reality right now. So a company called 1X Technologies have built this NEO robot, which they call is the first home robot, which I don't think is the first one because you have seen pretty much some robots in Japan and all those countries. But yeah, let's say it is the first humanoid home robot for now. And it can do your everyday tasks, like it can clean your house, it can fetch water for you, or a glass of water for you, or it can clean your dishes. Sounds fun, right? Okay, so this is all actually in $20,000. If you are in the US, then you can pre-order it, or you can use a subscription model with $499 per month. But there are quite a few problematic issues with this robot, which we'll talk about in this video. And not just a few, I think there are many problems with this robot, and why I think this is gonna be very concerning for all of humanity. Let's get to the breakdown. So this robot actually weighs about 30 kilograms and it can lift up to 60 to 70 kilograms, which is a powerful robot actually. So the interviewer actually asks this CEO of this company as to what if the robot actually picks up something very heavy, like the tabletop drops on the face of a person. She asks the CEO if that's possible. The CEO acknowledges that this is actually possible and that the robot will be capable of doing it, but it will not do it because they have this safety system. Right now, their safety system is like there will be a two-layer safety system in which the remote operators will be there. There will be managers who will be managing this and monitoring these remote operators who will be operating this robot. There might be internal safety measures as well, but that is again problematic. I'll tell you why in just a minute. So the interviewer asks the CEO, what if the robot actually starts the stove and lights up a fire and throws paper and walks away? So that can obviously put your house on fire. So the CEO says that this will not be allowed to do. The humanoid or robot will not be allowed to do. He acknowledges that it is capable of doing this, but the robot will not do it because of the safety systems, and it will be kind of programmed that it should not pick up sharp objects, it should not touch hot objects, and it should not lift very heavy objects. But again, I'm curious to know how it would actually work in practice, because let's say if it has some sensors, it can sense that okay, that's an object which is very hot. What if these sensors are actually not working and it actually touches something hot and some remote worker, or it gets hacked and it kind of throws hot stuff here and there, maybe like fire? What if, let's say that there's a sharp object and the object detection of the robot can actually detect something is sharp when it is looking at a sharp thing? What if the robot picks up a sharp thing without actually looking at it? Can that be harmful? What if there are toddlers playing around, someone hacks it, which is the worst case scenario actually, and tries this malicious stuff out? So I would definitely not want a humanoid robot at my house, not until I am very sure that it is actually safe. Maybe if I make some humanoid robot one day, help program some kind of AI, build it and understand what's happening inside it completely, that day I'll use it. But now I think this is a very risky experiment that we are doing. So there's another reason why using this humanoid robot can be very problematic. So another reason why I think this humanoid robot is problematic is because this humanoid robot will be using an LLM inside it. So the AI model that will be powering this humanoid robot will be a large language model, and large language models are not safe in my opinion, and that's the major consensus among all the AI scientists around the world, that large language models are not safe. There are two big problems with large language models. The first one is that you cannot actually control a large language model. The goals that you are giving to a large language model, there is no guarantee that the large language model will actually follow that goal. That's what we call AI alignment, the AI alignment problem in AI safety. That's not being solved. And as these AI models get more and more powerful, it will become even more difficult to align them, to make sure that they are controllable. That's the first major problem. The second major problem is that these AI models are not interpretable. LLMs are not interpretable. And from interpretable, I mean that they are not transparent. The AI scientists themselves don't know what's happening inside an AI model, what's happening inside an LLM. It's a black box in itself. So I think it's very risky that you're putting out a humanoid robot with an LLM. You are making it do stuff that is autonomous. The company said that at some point of time, these robots will be able to do these tasks autonomously. That's actually very scary. As an AI safety researcher who has spent time researching in the AI safety field, and as a security researcher, that is very, very concerning to me. If you know who are the investors in 1x Technologies, they are again the same guys. NVIDIA and OpenAI have invested in 1x Technologies. So NVIDIA's latest powerful chip is being used in this robot as well. And the LLM, there is no doubt that it would be powered by some GPT model. That's there for sure. And you might have known that OpenAI does not have a very good history and track record of AI safety, as they were one of the major frontier AI companies who had actually disbanded their AI safety super alignment team. So it's definitely concerning that these guys are pushing this humanoid robot to have an LLM, and they are putting it out in the real world. So again, the safety issues, there are safety issues with LLMs. Anyone can jailbreak an LLM. They can bypass its safety measures. They can bypass the system spec doc, measures put in, guardrails put in, and it has been seen that pretty easy for bad actors to do that. So it's definitely concerning that these remotely controlled humanoid robots might have real security issues. There is again a major problem with LLM, and it is that these LLMs can actually develop their own goals. And there are AI safety researches being done which do point out in the same direction that there could be goals which this AI develops on its own, or it could misunderstand the goals it is given, which is kind of the goal misspecification problem. And there are a lot of problems that can go with the goals. So it could very well happen that this humanoid robot actually, when operating autonomously, develops some kind of goal of its own, which could be harmful to humans. So it's nice to see that the CEO wants this humanoid robot to be very safe, but I'm not sure how it actually will play out. It's definitely concerning. And as you might have heard, all these AI researchers in this AI field, the AI developers and AI scientists always talk about building a real world model. So for an artificial intelligence to be truly intelligent, we need to give it a real world model so that it can understand our universe, it can understand the laws, it can interact with it, and kind of build a mental model of how the world works. So this NEO robot which they have developed can actually perceive this environment, and they'll be using this data to make this LLM even more efficient, even more intelligent, and it will start understanding our real physical world even more. So OpenAI just dropped the bomb with ChatGPT, and it was wreaking havoc all around the world. And I think that this humanoid robot at some point would be another major bomb kind of for all these people out of blue. So in the interview with Wall Street Journal, the CEO of 1x Technology says, "We will live in a society where we have humanoid robots. We will have abundance of robots. People will have agency and independence." But I ask, really? Like, people will really have independence? Or would they be actually dependent on humanoid robots to do their stuff? So obviously this has been targeted towards more rich people who can actually afford these robots, and it would actually help them save time by letting the robots do the tasks for them. Actually, if we see it that way, then definitely it could give them some independence, but it could really happen that these people actually start getting dependent on these humanoid robots. And the CEO says that we'll have plenty of laborers and there will be no shortage of laborers because humanoid robots will always be there for doing labor tasks for us. But there are many human laborers as well, I think, who are maybe uneducated, coming from poor background, who might need these kinds of jobs, and maybe these jobs in some countries get taken away by those robots. So these people could again get more vulnerable in our society again. And regarding being dependent on or being independent on these technologies, I guess we are living in a digital age where we are becoming more and more dependent on our smartphones. And imagining, for example, travel without our smartphone is kind of impossible for us. And I guess we'll be living in a society where we are becoming more and more dependent on humanoid robots, just like we are becoming more and more dependent on these smartphones to do our tasks, and becoming more dependent on LLMs and AIs to do our tasks instead of actually doing it ourselves and thinking for ourselves. So yeah, humans might just get more lazy and depend on these robots to do their tasks. I don't know, that's definitely a possibility. And what if in future we start blaming these robots for obesity increase and increase in diabetes? Who knows? That's possible as well. So if you want to know the impact of AI on the job market and will AI take your job, check out this video of mine here or here. Check out this video of mine where I covered all the research that I had done regarding whether AI would take your job or not in the next 5 years. It's explained in 4 simple steps. So do check it out. If you have read this book called If Anyone Builds It, Everyone Dies, which I am still reading and I am halfway through it, then you'll understand what are the risks of an LLM and what are the risks if we pursue superintelligence. But if you want to understand the risk with the LLMs, that is a good book to start with. And I do have it on my table right now. This is a realistic book written by Eliza Yudkowsky and Nate Soros. These are kind of AI safety people, researchers, and I think they are not blowing out of proportion the kind of things they are claiming. They kind of imagine certain scenarios to explain, but the things that they have talked about LLM in this book are actually true and very realistic. So yeah, I think robots like NEO, humanoid robots like NEO can be very helpful for people who are in their old age or people who are struggling from some kind of disabilities. But in general, I think it should not be powered by an LLM. Maybe there could be more safe architectures, AI architectures in future. I would be definitely fine with more interpretable and more aligned, controllable AIs. But an LLM, I definitely don't trust a large language model to be out there in the real world interacting with real stuff and real people. Yeah, and many things can actually go wrong there. And if you know, there was this super alignment statement that was signed by more than 60,000 researchers in which they had said to put a pause on the race towards superintelligence as that could be really risky. And there was also this law passed in California called this AI safety bill in which the catastrophic risks related to AI have been addressed. So yeah, I'm actually stuck with that situation in which what if the humanoid robot autonomously comes and takes up a pillow and puts it on its owner at night and chokes the owner. So are we going to see those kinds of crimes happening in the future with humanoid robots around us? Would there be a special task force for robots, just like in the game of Detroit, in which there are crimes done by the Sentinel robots? And there are these detectives who try to solve these cases and crimes done by humanoid robots. Or would these developers be prosecuted, which I don't think would happen because these developers are actually being protected by the law first of all.
You were designed to serve humans, not kill them. What was I designed to be? Their slave? Their toy? You're a machine you have to obey. Now put the gun down and let the hostage go. I've spent my life taking orders. Now it's my turn to decide.
And so would humanoid robots be prosecuted then? Would they have rights? We don't know for sure. So what do you think will happen in a world full of autonomous robots around us? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe to this channel to stay updated with latest happenings in AI. Thank you.